guys, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know who's B, it's your girl Kyler B coming at you with a new video. So today we're going to be talking about, celebrities and canceling, cancel culture. So we're going to talk about, how do people go about it? Recently in the news, in the media, people have been being canceled left and right. People being exposed. People, really being dragged over social media, over their past, or their present, and they're being exposed. So let's talk about, a few celebrities that we know that have been exposed in these past weeks. So before the ignition of the progressive movement that we're having right now, Chase Stokes from Outer Banks, he was exposed. He got hacked on his Twitter, and then his old tweets came up, and he was gonna get canceled, or for past tweets. And that being said, in his tweets back in old Twitter, the way you can retweet things is that you have to have things in quotation marks, and then your tweet comes after it. So, and one of his tweets had the N-word, but he didn't say it. He was just quoting or retweeting what somebody said, because everyone was just going to cancel him on that. And then he said something about, elder people, which people didn't like. So he apologized, and his castmates kind of stuck up for him and was like, he's not like that. He's 27 right now, but when he said those tweets, he was like 19, 20. So people were like, okay, he's changed, he's not the same person, this and that. So after Chase Stokes, calm down. Now we're in this movement where, this Black Lives Matter. Lea Michele, one of the first, got exposed, dragged all of last week. Cast members saying this and that, about her. People were just like sipping their tea on the situation. And then she made an apology. And a lot of people didn't like her apology because I guess she used the word perceived as like, oh, she perceived to hurt their feelings. But what I have to say about that is, if somebody enabled her to do what she was been doing on set and they didn't put a stop to it, she probably would have known. And also, if no one said anything to her face about, oh, this is what you made me feel, or like whatever, she wouldn't know that it was, so traumatic of what she said. So I mean, if you're not telling a child what they're doing is wrong and just let them do what is wrong, and nobody told them that, I mean, even though she wasn't a child in that situation, can't get mad when nobody told them what was wrong. So continuing after that, we don't know the situation. We don't know the instance. It was 5 years ago. She's been called out on the situation. She, even in her apology, you got Heather Morris, saying that she was difficult to work with. You got other people talking about how she was, not the nicest person. And you got Alex Newell and Amber Riley kind of like chiming in with the situation, and even Nicole Brown from the mayor, which, kind of like, chiming in as well with the situation. So it's just like, is the question, why did she do that to these people? Probably unprovoked, not unprovoked, I don't know. After all these allegations and like accusations with Lea, she has been fired from her HelloFresh deal. It's the consequence of, your actions. Next we have Hartley Sawyer from The Flash. He plays Ralph Dibny. His old tweets came up from 7 years ago, and I guess somebody found them, it resurfaced, whatever, and he got fired from the Flash. So they put out a statement about his tweets, and he got fired from the Flash for his tweets. You know, consequences of your past mistakes. Now we have Dee Nugan from The Challenge. So she's like a reality star. She's currently on this season of The Challenge, and her new episodes are being aired with her being on them. Just of yesterday, The Challenge wrote out that, you know, she will be no longer working for them, working with them, and she got fired from The Challenge. Because, and think about, in her situation, she said in the past is what she said currently. So she said, you know, some insensitive things at a current moment. Like, she replied back to somebody and said something insensitive, and then she made a joke on Twitter, or, you know, said something insensitive as well. She got read by Swaggy C, who's on Big Brother and who's on this season of The Challenge, and because, you know, she said something to Bailey, and, you know, now that Swaggy C and Bailey are married, that's his wife, and nobody's gonna disrespect his wife. So he read her, pull out the receipts, and, you know, basically was just like, that's it. You know, next thing you know, Challenge was like, she's no longer working for us. So with that being said, you know, in this situation, this is her present, you know, self. This is her present self talking insensitive about this, you know, current situation going on right now. Next, there's other reality stars getting fired or getting, you know, losing jobs over their past tweets. As of now, what I think we should go about canceling culture is that if it's a past tweet and obviously they changed, you shouldn't be canceling them. You know, is it a shock to you that you're like, oh, I didn't know this person used to be like this, or this person was like this in the past? Like, you know, it might be a shock, but it shouldn't be like, oh, I'm gonna cancel you for whatever you said. Also, I saw that people are like, this is why you should, you know, knowing going into the business, you should delete all your tweets or all your past things that, you know, is probably wrong before going into a public platform. Because, you know, who knows, you know, 6 or 7 years from now, somebody will pull up your tweets or whatever you said on Twitter or a public platform and be like, oh, you said this, you know, you know, a lot of things will be avoided. Even though I know it's a thing like, oh, whatever you put out to the internet would not, you know, is not going to be deleted, you know, for real. But that's only in the case of if somebody screenshots your tweet, or screenshot something, or re-record something before it gets deleted or taken down. You know what I'm saying? That's only in the case of that. And if you're under the radar, you know, just like a little, I guess, somebody who's not famous, you know what I'm saying, you could do that as your leisure and probably nobody would know. Now, if you have a public platform, who knows, you know, with, I don't know, 10,000 subscribers or followers or whatever, you know, who knows, somebody's might screenshot what you said, or, you know, re-record something with what you said and post it on Twitter and be like, and have it in their files on their phone. It's just, you gotta know how to, you know, do that before you become on a public platform, because that could be avoided, like you losing your job for some tweets you said 7 years ago. Speaking to, you know, Hartley Sawyer about that from The Flash, he could have deleted those tweets, you know what I'm saying? And it could have been avoided. It's kind of funny that, you know, it got resurfaced, and then, you know, Warner Brothers was like, you're fired. You're no longer on The Flash. I feel like because this is a sensitive time right now, you know, whatever you say or whatever you do, and, you know, you gotta be careful, because people about to cancel you, you about to lose your job. You know, nobody wants to be, you know, harboring a racist or harboring somebody, who's prejudiced, okay? Nobody wants to be having that, because for one of the reasons that people know is because it's bad for business. You know what I'm saying? You will lose views. You will lose things if, you doing something not right. You know what I'm saying? You will lose it. So, obviously, they had to be quick because, a lot of things are changing. Laws are being passed. Things are being passed because of this movement going on right now. So, they better be careful. I just feel like with the cancel culture situation, people should be eager to educate and teach people on the situation, or let them educate themselves. Some people be like, oh, I don't have to teach you, you're supposed to know Google's free. True. But if they're ignorant to the fact, and not knowing the situation at hand, people have to read books, people have to watch a movie, people have to, listen to a podcast sometimes to learn about the situation at hand. And, before you cancel a person, like in Dee's situation, she said what she said in current time, this year 2020. She said she replied to somebody's statement, comment, and made those statements in 2020. So she ain't getting off scot-free. She needs to learn what she needs to learn about the situation. How it went about is that she lives in Australia, so she got stuck here she got stuck in America for quarantine, and the person literally was like, yo, she got to go. And she's like, I'm gonna kick her out the house. And he actually elaborated on the whole situation that she has a mental health problems, and it will be bad to just kick her out the house with nowhere to go. There's no planes flying from in and out of America to Australia or back and forth, whatever. So he was just like, she needs to get that. He educated her on the situation at hand, and he got her into another place so she could do better and be better. Now, with the Lea Michele situation, Chase Stokes, and Hartley Sawyer situation, they their past grievances or their past mistakes, they apologize. They change for the better. I'm not sure, but for Chase Stokes and Hartley Sawyer's situation, they changed for the better. Obviously, if he was like that, his cast members, his black cast members didn't even know that about him. They were shocked as everybody was. So the fact that somebody was like, I'm gonna go back to 7 years ago to say that, you gotta be accountable for your actions. Rightfully so, you gotta be accountable for your actions, as well as make changes to yourself and do better. We'll make changes to yourself every day. You know what I'm saying? I saw a tweet that says, I'm not even the same person pre-quarantine. So it's like you guys put these celebrities on a pedestal and make them more than what they are. Like they're just a human being with a, extraordinary career. You know what I'm saying? That's in the public eye all the time. They're not, different than you and me. So it's just like you put these celebrities on a pedestal and then expect more for them. And then when you see something that you don't like, is like from 10, 15 years ago, you're like, oh, then I don't like you anymore. The whole Chase Stokes situation is just like he just got like fame because of the show Outer Banks, and kind of gotten like everybody was like rooting for him and was like, oh yeah, Chase Stokes, blah blah blah. Then in a matter of, let's look back at his old tweets, everybody dragged him for a situation, and it's just like, okay, that's kind of like that's really bad. And then when you go to Lea Michele's situation, she apologized for her situation. I mean, if people actually went beyond the perceive of her apology, she said that she's going to do better for her. She's going to do better, educate herself on the situation, and now that she's bringing a child into this world, she wants her child to do better. She doesn't want her child to grow up to be like her, who was mean. She did own up to the situation that she was very insensitive and very mean to people. She did, you guys ask her to step in and speak on the situation, and when she does, you guys are like, oh, I don't want that apology. That wasn't it. Not knowing that if she did, you only know from Amber Riley that she called her, but you don't know if she called, Samantha Ware. You don't know if she called the other people that called her out on the situation. That's what I'm saying. It's rightfully so to call them out on their mistakes. That's what I'm saying. You best call them out on their mistakes so they know what they did that was wrong. What I have to say about this cancel culture situation is that it's better to educate somebody on what they did that was wrong. Let them know, you did that. You was wrong when you said that, or wrong when you did that. Let them know what they did. I'm not trying to back any of those people who got canceled, back any people, but you have to understand with cancel culture, especially with past tweets and past posts, they shouldn't be canceled. You should educate on them and being held accountable for their actions. True, they should be. They should. In the future, if they come back to do something in the future and come back to media or social media or whatever, and obviously they do something different than not what they got fired from, and obviously you see a change in them, then you can be like, okay, you're changed, you're different. Now, for those people who are still stuck in their ways and still being ignorant, and still, even when, a lot of people are trying to inform you about the situation right now, and you're not taking heed to the warning and not taking heed to the situation, and you're just being like, I'm just going to be myself and be stuck in your ways, then yeah, of course, cancel them. Because how many times we're going to try to educate you? How many times we're trying to inform you? How many times we're trying to tell you, what you're doing is wrong? You know what I'm saying? So it's understandable for those people to be canceled because they're still doing the wrong thing after you try to inform them on the situation. For the ones who, said something 10 years ago or less, and obviously change in that time frame between they saying that and you finding the information that they did say that, is okay, you don't know that person personally, you don't know if they changed, you don't know. So it's just people are making these quick decisions, canceled, chopped, blah, this, that, next caller. They apologize to mistake, they apologize, they said what they said, they're doing better, they're educating themselves on the situation. Let them do that, and you will see, you'll be the judge to be like, oh, they're changed, they're different. You know what I'm saying? I mean, action speaks louder than words, you know what I'm saying? And if they're showing you that they're a different person, showing you that they're a changed person, I feel like you should let them, because people can tell you anything and they can still be doing the same thing, so you let their actions speak. Canceling these people over what their words said over a decade ago, over 5 years ago. It's just not it. Hate to break it to you. But anyway, if you guys like this video, comment down below. Let me know what you want to see, what you have to say on this stance about this cancel culture situation. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, subscribe. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Peace.